Alright. That should about do it. That's a bit loud. So let's, well, I can't tweak sound settings from here, so I'm gonna have to do it farther in. K. Can I really not adjust it in here? Nope, just display and graphical settings. I have to get in-game itself to tweak audio. Whatever. Okay. Welcome back to Mecha Mondays. I am your intrepid pilot, Fragath. And today, and for the next several weeks, we're going to be doing Daemon X Machina. Originally a Switch exclusive, it is made largely by a lot of the team that used to make the Armored Core games after they left FromSoft. I'm just going to start a new game because I didn't get very far before, and I may as well take it from the top. All right, buckle up. I've set it to Japanese language for what it's worth because there's some interesting voiceover cameos fairly early on. And now we get into the real meat of the beast. Customization. So, it is very much a... Customization's pretty important here. Let's see, what do we got? We got different plug suits. Prototype plug suit has little straps on it for some reason. We'll get back to that. We don't want it to be a total sausage fest. We can deck ourselves out like a Zentradi. In fact. Could go full Britai if we wanted. We're not going to. This is nothing compared to the options that come later. But yeah, you got any skin color you can possibly come up with. We'll go with something reasonably natural. The soundtrack's rather loud. I will be tweaking that down a bit. It's a good soundtrack, though. Oh, an afro? Maybe. Nah. No. That just looks like it gets in your eyes. As does that. Jiggly hair. That's pretty good. Show off our inner Elviano. Oh no. Yes. Yes. I must have it. For a hair color, I have no idea. Vibrant pink. And we have various facial shapes. Most of which definitely are interesting choices. This hairstyle makes them look like they have foreheads the size of very large foreheads. So maybe this hairstyle was a bad pick? I don't know. What we got here? These like... So what I'm doing is I'm controlling movement with the mouse. But I have to navigate the menus with WASD or the D-pad or the arrow keys. No. Yeah, why not? Got eyebrow shapes. Actually, I'm going to change that color. So I can see them. Let's see. The Steam version runs smooth as a silk. It's my understanding of the Steam version is it's basically the most current version of the Switch version, just ported straight over. So everything that's got, this has, except for, of course, the Eureka 7 and Code Geass skins that you could get in the Japanese version, which I don't think ever came here. But yeah, instead of being locked to sub 30 frames per second, it can go all the way up to 200. I don't have anything that'll support that frame rate. Maybe my hardware could, but it does run very smooth. Mouse controls are good. There's no mouse control in the menus, which I find a little questionable. But you can control everything else with the mouse. So once I get through the character creator, which is obviously the most important part of the game, you get used to it. It's not too bad. It's pretty intelligently done. Make it so it looks like it resembles part of the skull. Some of these are really goofy. Here we go. Those look like actual eyebrows. Now, you can change all of these customization options later. Some of them will be rendered kind of moot by a certain feature that will become relevant later on. What do we got for eye color? What do we want? What do we want here? Terminator eyes. Oh, good. I played a little earlier, so I understand the basics, but I'm still kind of coming to terms with the controls and everything. Oh, let's go with that. Let's go with a nice greenish color. I can work with that. Or an orange? I don't know. Let's go with that greenish aqua, why not? Alternatively, go for something deeper green. I kind of like the Luciany Aqua, I like the definition of that. You can go with, where are you? Change eyes, so you have like non-symmetrical eyes. I'm not going to bother with that. You can go with heterochromia. It's pretty dope. Lots of options, and I can change all this later anyway if I so choose. And all sorts of cosmetic options. Oops. There we go. Let's make it something obvious so I can actually see it. There we go. So I'm not going to grow too attached to any one appearance at this point. Ace bandage on the nose, that's cute. Cybernetic implant stuff. Oh, there we go. Something nice and simple. I like it. There we go. No. Yeah. No, no voice. And plug suits. Because of course they're plug suits. They plug you right on in, don't they? Oh, metallic? We gotta go metallic. We gotta go metallic. Tentatively. Oh, actually, that was pretty cool. Something silver. Actually, you know what? Go gold. The blue there. Can I? Oh, that's cool. I guess it's this sort of translucent look, like you don't even know it's there. I don't know about all that. Kind of blends in a little too well. And then maybe set this to be... I like lots of horrible contrast, and so this is filling that particular need. For the color here, I don't know. Oh, we can do that, yeah. Alright. So, the basics, and can't change your name unless you start a new file, but whatever. Everything else is fair game. Oh yeah. Wow, I'm so pretty. I'm a godless abomination. We're going to the clown car, fellas. So yeah, this game basically feels like Armored Core 6.
おはようございます。私の名前はフォー。あなた方アウターとオービタルとの接続役。正確にはオペレーターです。先ほど神経接続端子の移植手術が完了しました。それに伴いオーバルリンクでのあなたの生体データが更新、オービタルへ登録されます。こちらがオービタルからあなたへ貸与されるアーセナルです。傭兵登録のため適正検査を行います。中央端末からオーダーを受注し、準備終了後出撃してください。
Alright, that's nice. Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, leap. Nope, no leap. So there is text chat, sort of, if you can get to it. So this is the most important room in the entire facility, but you don't know why yet. So, as I was saying, enhancing outers in the lab. Your outer can be enhanced at the lab through surgical body modifications. These modifications can also enhance your arsenal's abilities. All body modifications can be surgically reversed. Your outer's physical appearance can be changed at any time. That reminds me, I'm going to go to sound options so that I can hear myself think. There we go. Let's crank that down a bit. That should be fine. Just make sure that got kept. It did. Very good. Still a little loud, but I can work with this. This is a bit better. So, here we have our mech bay. Our hangar. Changing equipment. In the hangar, you can change armor or weapons and prepare your arsenal. Equip weapons and armor to use them. Well, let's see about that. Do we have any armor? Other than the bits we already have equipped? No. If you're looking at this and you're thinking, hey, isn't that the white glint from Armored Core 4 and 4 Answer? Yeah, well, you wouldn't be that far off. That is certainly the first thing I thought. So we've got various bang sticks of given different stripes. Short-range, high-fire rate machine guns, assault rifles, which have larger range and better bullet damage, swords that do swordy McSword things, bazookas, because of course, and you got shields, and there's a whole slew of other guns and stuff you can get later on that I do not have access to at the moment. So that's for the right arm. For left arm, who needs shields? Shields are for losers. Bang sticks all the way. Shoulder weapon. Oh, we got a missile launcher, a shiny missile launcher pod. Cosmetic stuff from the pre-order. It's no big deal. They're just cosmetic. They're not superior in any way. My understanding of basic balance has been that it's pretty balanced, actually. And then left, the pylons are basically where you store extra weapons. So if I go here to my left pylon, which is over here, you can see it change what I've got available there. I'm gonna go with a melee weapon because you may as well, right? In case I run out of ammo, and ammo management is fairly important. Arsenal painting. The edit arsenal here has basically skins you can put on. They do not change your stats in any way, they just change how you look, which is pretty cool. Also pretty snazzy. I like the ribbed hoses a la Azaku 2 or whatever. I'm not going to go that route. You get various decals that you can't really see. You unlock them for doing various tasks and doing things throughout the game. Make it a little obvious that it's there. You can change things individually for each of your arms. Your legs are one piece, though. Do I have any patterns available? I don't think I do. There's various camos and whatnot you can get, as well as like some metallics. So let's leave the head alone. Certainly I can go with like a gold. Let's go with like a royal purple. Legs, let's make that like a green, I guess. Why not? Not all limbs have this range of color customization options. Let's make the body of blue. keep forgetting when it switches over to that. There we go. And then for this one, we'll go with that sort of purpley color. Okay. So we have the Megazord or Voltron or whatever. That's just to show that you can do things. So we'll go to missions. I gotta get another super copy. Accepting missions. Accepting an offer mission will advance the main story. Select a mission, and dispatch. So things to note, there is in fact co-op, but not for story missions. And I don't think for your free missions either. However, there are dedicated co-op missions which do earn you different things. We will get to those later. I do not have them unlocked here yet. That isn't for a while. So our goal is to eliminate the enemy AIs. So we are fighting robots, lots of machines. We don't have to go to the hangar. Welcome to your battlefield. How cool is that, huh? It's my battlefield. Oh, somebody... Stasia 16544 says... Oh, he's like crashing my stream. Greetings to the entire broadcast audience. I wish you good mood and health. 3 exclamation points in a row. If you are interested in shooters or you just have a good heart, subscribe to my channel. Thank you in advance. So if you have a bad heart, does that mean you shouldn't? Like, if I have arrhythmia or something, that means I shouldn't subscribe to it. Okay, that's good to know. I'll be sure to tell my viewers that. If you have arrhythmia or like holes in your valves or whatever, do not subscribe to Stasia 16544's channel. It could be bad for your health. Otherwise, if you've got a good heart, I guess there's no harm in it. Good for him. I don't know who he is, but yeah, thanks. I guess. This is a live fire exercise, but you have nothing to worry about. The soundtrack, by the way, is banging. I don't know who did this soundtrack, but I'm gonna find them. And I'm gonna listen to their music a lot. Hardly anyone fails this test. 2 veteran mercenaries will serve as observers during the test. Why? Okay. Mohawk, eye-patched guy who looked like he just ate a lemon and didn't like it. In fact, he looks like he's staring at it. Is there a lemon off to the side? I don't see it, but he looks very angry at it. You tell him. Observers for the aptitude test are selected at random from a pool of qualified mercenaries. I guess that's nice. They're here to make sure the test is conducted fairly and to intervene if your life is threatened. Let's hope that doesn't happen. I don't know how I feel about being called a valuable resource, but I'm willing to take it because I'm going to be in a giant robot the entire time. Except when I'm not. Oh. There you go. However, if the cost of your arsenal repairs consistently exceeds the profit you generate, your value may be reassessed. You're not that worthwhile, dude. Got it. Hardly anyone fails this test.
ただアウターの感覚に従えばいい。迷った時は自分の命を優先しろ。
Okay.
それでは適正確認テストを開始します。それではレーダーを確認してください。
So, we
青い
have
ライ
basic
ンを越えれ
movement.
ばテスト
We
が
go on
開始されます。
skates. We
指示に
bottoms
従い
now.
指定された座標まで移動してください。
Movement controlled via the... Okay. Radar display legend. Oh, that's a pretty informative infographic. Yeah. So pay attention to those things with exclamation points, because those are where you get loot. Yes, there's looting. We'll get to that. So, ammo is yellow. Femto, which is energy gauge stuff that you need for shooting lasers and stuff, is purplish dots. Recovery tanks are bright green. Femto zones, where you can also restore your femto, which is your energy gauge, which is tied to laser weapons, energy weapons, are in red, and you can just kind of float around in those and regain it passively. Residual femto is like little blobs of it. You get big chunks added to your gauge. We'll touch on this. I don't have any energy weapons at the moment, so it's kind of moot. WAS to move. Move camera with mouse. Jump, hold and release to high jump. Activate flight mode while airborne, so double jump. Yo, no problem, Punk Buster. I'm glad you're tuning in. No stress. So, to anyone just tuning in, this is Daemon X Machina, originally a Switch exclusive that released on Steam. It is a co-op mech action game that is totally not Armored Core 6. If, FromSoft would finally make us another Armored Core instead of friggin' Soulsborne games, I'd be happy. I'd be real happy if FromSoft would stop making medieval grimdark horror games and start making mecha games again, because they were good at it. They were really, really good at it. In fact, there's a sizable chunk of FromSoft games I've played on this stream. Actually, I haven't played very many FromSoft games on this stream, come to think of it. I've just done Ace 1, 2, and 3, and I was horrible at 1. 2 is hard, because I played it on the hardest difficulty, because I'm an idiot. And then 3 is ridiculously easy. I think it's still like $50. Let me check. It is on sale for $53.99 at the moment. I don't know what that converts to. But as for pre-order, it wound up being closer to 40. So they upped the price. It's a little pricey. It's a full price game. For what that's worth. There is some cosmetic DLC, but it's all cosmetic, so you can live without it. They're kind of not super cheap either. Some of them are kind of big, kind of pricey. Although I don't see any that are really pricey, but they're out there. Definitely worth it. But yeah, it's co-op. There's all sorts of co-op missions. The co-op winds up being kind of like a, from what I've experienced, kind of like Mecha Monster Hunter, sort of, where you zip around in mechs shooting at giant robo bosses, like in Armored Core 4 Answer. Well, they're not that big, but they're pretty big. Nothing like Spirit of Mother Will, for instance, which is just... If I could stream Armored Core 4 Answer, I would do it, but I have no way of doing that at the moment. But yeah, it's right now it's $54, $54. I don't know what that converts to in other currencies, so we'll just live with it. I doubt they have particularly benevolent currency conversion, but that's Steam. So let me get back on track here. Flight controls, basically you do a mid-air jump and you start flying. And most of the game you're going to be flying. And then you just kind of juke around with WASD. And then you deactivate flight by descending with control. The keyboard controls are actually pretty competent. The one thing to remember is that the mouse does not really control menus. Like left click and right click will confirm deny, but you have to move around with either WASD or a Zerdy, if you've gotten a Zerdy keyboard, whatever that translates to, I don't know. Or the D-pad, the arrow keys. It is fully controller supported. That's probably the way it's meant to be played, but I like using a mouse and keyboard. And for the actual action sequences, it feels good. I'm still getting used to it, but it's pretty good. So boosting is your main movement for speed. Um, so we're just gonna skate around though, because skating is cool, and I like Votoms, Armored Trooper Votoms. Votoms? Votoms with Kiriko QV. So this is ground boosting. If you look at that stamina gauge that is going down right now, that controls how much I can boost. And when it runs out, it runs out. And I have to wait for that whole bar to recharge. And I can't fly until it's back. And this is charging up a Yump. Where's a Yump? Those will become important on the other part of co-op, because there's 2 co-op modes now, which I have not gotten. I've only done one run of, is Exploration Mode, which is basically randomly generated dungeon crawling with a group of friends. So you go zipping around in a dungeon in giant robots, shooting things. I ask you, what sounds cooler than that? Don't answer, you don't have one. It's alright. It's alright. Attacking enemies. You aim with your dingus. You press one button on the dingus to shoot the right arm. You press the other button on the dingus to shoot the left arm. Pretty obvious. Locking on works... a lot of it works a lot like Armored Core, where you have this targeting area. That's what this big crosshair on my screen is. So anything that's in that is something that I can lock on, but there are different ranges at which I'll actually do that accurately. So manual aiming is relevant-ish, but only up to a point. It's basically get up in something's face so that you are within targeting range, and then just click the button even if you're not aimed directly at it, and I'll show that off a little. So you do have primary and secondary and tertiary, I guess, targets. Primary is the one you're going to shoot at first. Next one will be the blue one, and so on and so on. I don't have any auxiliary weapons, but I do have a shoulder weapon, so that's locking on. Swapping weapons is important. You have to remember how to do that. C and Z. X is to eject. We're not going to be doing that, because there should be no reason to do that. There are situations in which that would theoretically be useful if you ran out of ammo for a gun and then went and picked one up off of a felled enemy and then swapped it out. But you get ammo from picking up enemy weapons anyway, so it's, I don't know, maybe. I won't be using that. But yeah, like... So we have swordy swords. We have missiles. They multi-lock. Those are a bunch of dead dudes. That was manual aiming. Let me... It's telling me important things, but in Japanese, so I'm not paying attention. So, here's a locked-on enemy. Okay, VP recovery tags are these things. I'll show that off in a minute if I manage to take damage like an idiot. So you see how that's locked on there, but I'm not aiming straight at it? I shot it to death. So there are damage numbers. I'm out of lock-on range. Oh no, I took damage. Yeah, this is, other than Warframe, this is basically going to be my life for the foreseeable future. Alright, now I'm just dual-wielding machine guns, or assault rifles. Oh, there he is. Oh, right. So there's another cool thing you can do. I'm gonna access this car, and by access, I mean pick it up and throw it at that guy's bitch ass. Oh yeah, that's a thing you can do. So healing. No, that's not what I want to do. Healing works like so. A bubble is formed. Now I could pick this up and throw it, but I can just shoot the thing too. And I'm healed. There's also scannable things, which I didn't know the first time around. And you get decals and stuff from these. They're in... I don't know if they're in every mission, but they're in a lot of missions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a nice multi-lock going with my missiles. A better multi-lock than that, preferably. There we go. Bafoosh! So, something they don't tell you about in this mission is, these... Yeah, I know I got a passing score, it's no big deal. Is this one as well? I don't know. It is! I want that. You can eventually go back and redo missions like these that have stuff on them. But you cannot do it initially. You have to beat the story mode first, is what I've been told. Which is fine. It's pretty generous with the time frame post-mission to go and do whatever post-mission cleanup. It gives you a full minute for a lot of these. Some of the co-op ones are only like 30 seconds though, not a full minute. So because the game is cool. Oh, it's not gonna let me pick those up. Will it let me pick this up? Yes, it will. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna thwack something. Like this guy up here. I don't like being watched. It counts as a melee weapon. How cool is that? You just have to be able to lock onto something, which I didn't. So there's these three, next to those body parts that you see up at the top of the screen under my stamina gauge, you've got... You see these things lighting up? Yeah, so these do different things. This gives me infinite stamina until it runs out. This gives me a shield until it runs out. And this gives me boosted damage and stuff. And I think like reload and accuracy maybe? I'm not sure. So basically you want to be using those. But it doesn't tell you to do that yet. So we got some stuff, that's cool. If there's other scannables in there, I should have done it. I should look up a guide to see what list of those there are. Oh well, too late now. Still can't visit the ice cream shop. That doesn't occur till later. I'm only going to keep Japanese voiceover on until... Can I join these? Oh my god, I can do that already? Exploration missions. So this would be a terrible idea, but I'm going to see if it'll let me do it. I'm going to search for rooms. No rooms found. Oh, well, I'm not doing that because I will get destroyed. Not because my parts are incompetent or bad, they are, but because it's the sort of, like, it throws you right up against pretty dangerous stuff from the get-go. And I'm not going to do the co-op versus giant robots missions either, because I don't really have much of an arsenal, haha, at the moment. That will come later. Did I get a gun from that? Yeah, I did. An AT, which will shoot automatically once it's locked on. So I don't have to hold down the button, it just kind of burns through ammo as it so chooses. Which is pretty cool, I guess. We're going to keep what we've got for now. I think we've got a decent setup at the moment. I'm not going to worry about paint. And this is like, these are the messages you get for lore, basically. The purpose of the orbital organization is to respond to crises that arise within the barrier that encircles Oval. I wonder if it's oval-shaped. This is accomplished through mission requests that are issued by each consortium nation. We provide support to all reclaimers to the best of our ability such that they have whatever is required to complete a mission. As a member of Orbital, we expect you to adhere to our rules and regulations from this point forward. Serious violations will be addressed accordingly. Consider this your first and only warning. We do not directly involve ourselves in the affairs of mercenaries and their consortium clients. However, if we determine that a mission would be disadvantageous to Orbital's interests, we will intervene as we deem necessary. That being said, we do not take sides in any conflicts that may arise between the parties involved in a mission. And so, without further ado, we welcome you to Orbital. We expect great things from you. So what that second to last mission translates to is, if a bunch of other mercenaries show up and they want to mess your day up, your day will be messed up. That's going to become plot relevant eventually. So now we have introductions to what seem to be corporations or something, manufacturers or something, like you would get in Armored Core 4 or 5. Welcome to Oval. You must be Saramina, the newest reclaimer. It has been several months since we've had someone pass the aptitude test. Interesting. Here at Sky Union, our guiding principle is, all are connected beneath the sky. Are they, though? We believe Oval's resources belong to humanity as a whole. We hope to eliminate the AIs and bring peace to the world. Oh, really? We look forward to seeing you in action as you fight for us. No, for all of humanity. Oh, okay. I wonder if that'll ever go anywhere. Welcome to the new world, says Horizon. We are Horizon, to all corners of the Earth. As a resident of the Earth yourself, you are no doubt sympathetic to this ideal. Now more than ever in these trying times, we must uphold the legacy of our founding fathers who conquered this world and continue to press onward. What even does that mean? Oval's resources are necessary to restore the world. We want you to devote yourself to the world from this day forward, in sickness and in health, until you are separated by death. We would expect nothing less. So those guys aren't crazy cultists or whatever. Zen. Greetings. We are Zen. If you are not familiar with the concept of Zen, it refers to a life of hardships, but it also represents everything that is. It is at once part and sum, fragment and whole. And our philosophy is the peak of technology. I like the sound of that. We provide we provide all reclaimers with the latest weapons and arsenal tech. There are those in this world who claim we would sell our souls for science. Nevertheless, we will support you with our latest technological advancements. The challenges that await you are not unlike those faced by your predecessors. We look forward to witnessing all that you will accomplish. Okay, so they did not refute that statement, so that's fine. So what I need to do is I need to get to rank C so I can unlock the secret shop. And to unlock the secret shop, I need to eat a lot of ice cream. We'll get into ice cream shortly. I don't know what the side goal is here. Offhand. Yeah. Immortals have invaded Grace City within Sky Union's territory. Team up with the other reclaimers to eliminate them. So somebody blew up the moon. Here we have another mission briefing.
それでは本オーダーについての詳細な内容をお伝えします。本オーダーはスカイオーバルリンク内のスカイユニオン支配区域において各傭兵は割り振られたエリア内の敵を
Designated area. We have also confirmed that the invading enemy force consists of these seized AI. They're just drones and tanks. For this mission, the area has been divided among all participating reclaimers. Saramina, you will be accompanying Bullet Works. Okay. This is fine. Just throwing us on in there, which is cool.
なーに、わからないことがあったら俺に聞いてくれよ。手取り足取り教えてやるからさ。
ジョニー、お前も同じだ。
ちえ、いつまで経ってもこれだもんな。校長、そろそろ新人扱いやめてくれませんか？
ほう、作戦データをくれないか。
伝達事項は以上です。作戦エリアに関する詳細な情報はデータを確認してください。ではオーダー開始時刻までに出動の準備を整え、ローディングエリアで待機してください。
後でな、ルーキー。
Okay. Oh, now it tells me about using objects and vehicles. I thought it was the third mission, but whatever. So,
フェムト粒子の濃度は軽微。電子機器へ影響はありません。各機のデータリンク開始。招待の通信回線を開きます。オーダーを開始してください。
ルーキー、無事に戦場に出られたみたいだな。ようこそオーバルリンクへ。ここは何もかもがエキサイティングだぞ。
集中しろ。ここは直径2000キロの壁に囲まれた地獄だ。
これだもんな。人が悪いっすよ。そういや自己紹介がまだだったな。自分はジョニー・ジー、バレットワークスに所属して
something, 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 I'm Johnny G.
同じバレットワークスの所属で
コールサイン、ファルコン。覚えて
自分のコールサインが本名。ファルコンみたいにかっこいいコールサインが良かったんだけどね。
I'm just gonna shoot missiles at all that jive.
文字の羅列に過ぎん。
そうは言いますけどね、伍長。あ、いや、この作戦エリアは俺たちバレットワークスに任されてる。他のエリアは他の会合で
Heck with this.
組む相手は慎重に選ぶことだ。選択を誤れば死ぬことになる。
伍長の言う通りだ。要はヤバいやつとは組むなって。傭兵の噂話ならいい評判も悪い評判も耳に入る。そのうち嫌でも覚えるさ。話を戻そう。
I can't wait till I get something with a greater lock-on range, I tell ya.
しばらく時間が経つ。
Gotta pick up some
再び
extra
AI が
ammo.
取り込もうと侵入してくる。それ
オーダー達成確認。帰還シーケンスを実行。指示に従って帰還してください。
もう終わりか。ルーキーも無事だったみたいだな。さーて帰って。
待てジョニー、嫌な匂いがする。
I'm gonna look for, like, spray paint tags or whatever.
スカイユニオンのレーダー
I really should have.
作戦エリア内
So what's
に
happening
日
here
本軍の出現が
is
確認されました。
I'm being told that people are invading or attacking right now. I'm gonna change it to English. Oh, here we go. So these are immortals. And thus we get to the real meat of things.
なんだこれ。初めて見るぞ。
He's a big boy.
ギガントクラス。なんだよこれ。なあ、これってやばいやつじゃないか。
And for this, I really want to be using. Oh, there's two of them.
ああ、なんだよそれ。伍長、どうする。
戦場が我らの命もある。
これだ。ああ、くそー。やるしかないのかよ。
Whoops, that was a
バレッ
mistake.
トワークスの一員が泣き言を言うな。準将なら現地で何とかしている。
So I want to go for this arm here.
やるしかないっすね。
Because there is location-based damage, and I don't want it using a sword on me anymore. Thank you very much. Whoosh. Come on. I'm just gonna pop my shield here, which does reduce some damage. Not everything.
しは強くなったようだ。おちょ、ケイジ、下がれ、邪魔だ。少佐、少尉。マルコム、ジョニー G。ここは私たちに任せてもらう。
Do you recognize those voices? I sure do. If you don't, I'll talk about that in a minute.
おお、私についているか。いつまでもあんたの後ろについている気はない。これがギガントクラス。私を殺したいのはわかるが、任務に集中してほしいもの。それにその程度の腕では私は倒せん。せめてこいつらを全て倒してみせる。やってやるさ。その後にあんただ。その息だ。
So what's entertaining about that is that the one in red is the Japanese voice actor for Char Aznable of Gundam fame. And the one in black is the voice actor in Japanese for Amuro Ray, the protagonist of the first Gundam series, anyway. So it's a cute little nod. Incidentally, the character of Char Aznable in Gundam tends to pilot a red mech. We've seen him and heard his voice before on this very stream. In actual Gundam properties. So, that's cool. This is a big dead thing. If there is a... whatchamacallit, a sticker or whatever. Here we go. No, that isn't one. I do not know where it is. I'll find a guide for those and worry about it later. Technically, I didn't do any eliminating, but I did get some cash out of it, so that's cool. So I'm gonna let this play out.
知らない顔がいるようだな。失礼した。私はクリムゾンロード。バレットワークスの副団長を務めさせてもらっている。もう一人が、俺はディアブロ。我が団の二人をよく助けてくれた。君のことは覚えておる。はあ、小遣い稼ぎのつもりがとんだ災難だったな。しかし、さすが少佐と少尉だ。
それでもお前たちは生き残った。それでいい。
伍長が褒めてくれるなんて珍しいな。
また戦場で会おう。
これからのオーダーのためにも必要な情報があればお伝えしますが、何かご質問はありますか?
I will provide all necessary information for completing future missions. Is there anything else you'd like to ask me? Oh boy. Choices, choices. What are immortals anyway?
月の落下により発生した何らかの要因により、一部 AI が我々人類を敵として認識し、この地からの排除、殲滅を試みています。
Immortals are a new form of life, that much is certain. After the moon fell, an unknown phenomenon caused some AIs to regard humanity as a threat that must be eliminated. Can you really blame them? These immortals have their own unique language as well as individual personalities. That's spooky. Telling you, I hope there's a 9-ball reference in here somewhere. Commencing hostilities. This is 9-ball. They can also corrupt other AIs and human weapon systems, assimilating them into their ranks to bolster their forces. Working alongside the consortiums, our goal at Orbital is to control all areas in the Oval Link. Missions to eliminate immortals are assigned to mercenaries like you to achieve that goal. Okay, so we've had that question answered, I guess. How did those mercenaries who saved me get so strong? Your individual ability has the greatest impact on your arsenal's power, but new weapons and equipment are just as important. You'd think. You can also have experimental weaponry loaned to you by building your reputation with specific consortiums. Building your service record through repeated battles is the fastest way to becoming as strong as Crimson Lord and Diablo. So they're the guys we're supposed to aspire to, is to be like Char and edgy Wangsty Amuro, who behave nothing like their Gundam counterparts. If anything, they behave like almost the opposite, but whatever. I never betrayed anyone in my entire life, Haban. That's an arguable statement. How can I increase my mission rewards? Your reward payout is higher than usual this time because your mission objective was updated from its original listing. There is precedent for requesting higher payouts, but I do not recommend it, as it can leave an unfavorable impression with the client. And that's it. If I ask those questions again, they'll just repeat themselves. I'm going to go and go to the options and check to see for my text options. Ah, that's why. I want to set that to fast. That'll help. I'm going to turn off vibration because I'm not using a controller. We'll leave autosave on, and we definitely want subtitles. So unfortunately to reset... Oh, there's a doggy. I cannot interact with doggy. Hello, doggy. Hi, doggy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to... I'm not going to the manual. Options. System settings? Is that where I save? No. Save from the system menu of console. Of the console. I knew it was a system menu. I couldn't remember where it was. I feel really dumb. If you've heard any of them, it's probably... it could be either, really, because they both... Their names have been in everything. Those are their most... Some of their most noteworthy roles, at least as they pertain to Mecha stuff, is... Okay, so I've saved. I'm going to return to title, because the only way you can change the audio language is on the title screen, which is strange, but it's not the first time I've encountered anything like that. But it's still pretty weird. And we're going to continue. You can unfortunately only have one save file at a time, which I think is a bit irksome. I'd like to have more than one. But whatever. So, here we are. We're the defenders of the universe. Or, you know, Earth. So we've switched back to English, I think, unless I just didn't press the right button, which would be absolutely hilarious. So from here on out, it'll be in English. They haven't started giving us free missions yet, which are replayable. Right now, we can't replay the story missions. We have to beat the story mode in order to do that. And that's not for a while. I don't know how long the story mode is exactly. It's pretty meaty. I mean, I played for like 2 hours and I didn't... Well, then again, most of the couple hours that I played were all doing co-op stuff. On that note, let me see if anyone is... No rooms found. Let me see if I can at least find rooms on this. If I can't find rooms here. Multiplayer with others. You can enjoy both co-op and versus multiplayer. There is versus mode. I will not be participating in that for some time, because that's going to be highly gear dependent. You can enjoy both co-op and versus multiplayer in ranked matches. A player's bounty rating, BR, is determined by the results of the match. Players are ranked based on their bounty rating. That's another way to earn cash, basically. Let's do co-op play. Co-op missions. All participating players will work together to complete a mission. During missions, you will fight enormous bosses and rival mercenaries. Rebooting in co-op play. A friendly arsenal that has been shot down can be brought back to the battle by rebooting it. To reboot, you just interact. Easy. And a certain amount of femto, which again you use for energy weapons, but we don't have any of those right now. After completing a co-op mission, you can challenge teammates to a shootout by attacking them. If your teammates attack you back, the shootout will begin. A shootout between 2 teammates is called a duel, and a shootout between 3 or more teammates is called a rush. Okay. Shootout results. Shootouts last for the duration of the post-mission countdown. Defeat all opponents to win your shootout. A win will increase your bounty rating, while a loss will lower it. It's just money. The higher the bounty rating of the enemy that you take down, the more money you get out of it, etc. Let's do a room search. Let's see if we can find any rooms. Okay, so I can find rooms, so I guess nobody's doing exploration missions for some reason, which strikes me as odd. I am not going to hop into these right now. I will probably do these on my off time, which is to say, when I'm not doing the streams, just so I can get the equipment and whatnot from them. I don't really have the gear to be particularly helpful for any of those. I need at least one other bazooka to feel like I'm worthwhile, and there's a bunch of shoulder weapons I'd like to get. Exploration missions are extremely good for getting kit and caboodle. Pretty high-end kit and caboodle, game-breakingly good kit and caboodle, but they're not all exactly easy. They can be quite challenging. They throw different stuff at you. Oh, because I have more decals. Like the lips. Smooch. And mushrooms. It doesn't tell you how you earn them, but they're from like making various progress and then finding them on things. For now, I think we're still good. I don't think I have... Yeah, you don't get access to like the factory or anything for a while yet. I forget when I got access to that. But you get ways of getting other parts other than looting things. I think this is the first mission where they allow us to loot stuff. I somehow managed to forget to change the audio language because I'm super smart. Let's save real quick. Return to title. Like I was saying, stranger things have happened than me forgetting to change the audio language. And there we go. Language. English. Continue. Evidently the thing I didn't do. So I feel real intelligent right now. It's been a long morning.
Briefing will now commence. This mission is a request from Sky Union. In response to the appearance of Gigant-class immortals during the previous mission, Sky Union has deemed it necessary to investigate neutral areas to prevent future immortal invasions. I've uploaded a map of the mission area. The area you'll be investigating shares a border with Sky Union's territory. Complete any necessary preparations, then stand by and await dispatch. Briefing over.
Gigant-class immortals. So named after the mythological race. Colossal beings, born from the blood that fell when the primordial god Uranus was castrated.
Hot.
One could say that in this gigantomachy of our time, we are like unto Zeus, brandishing his mighty thunderbolt.
I want this man's drugs. This man's drugs are top-notch, and I want what he's on.
Real wordsmith, this guy.
Agreed.
Say, I heard you were the first to face off against one of these. What was it like?
Well, since I had one mission,
Excellent. We don't need to restrain ourselves against powerful foes, but bring to bear the full force of our absolute justice.
Is that the same guy who did the voice of the president in Metal Wolf Chaos? I can't be sure. It can't be him. No, it's not him. Actually, it could be the news reporter from Metal Wolf Chaos. Sounds a little like him. Whatever.
Well, yeah, but we still need to investigate. Better than being completely in the dark, that's for sure.
In any event, it is essential that every last immortal be driven out. They are a blight, to be purged by humanity.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Oh, you're that straight shooter from Innocence. Have you been here the whole time?
I have. I'm actually responsible for gathering information for our team.
Please ask your question.
Yes, right. The information we have on those Gigant-class immortals indicates that conventional weapons are ineffective. So what do we do if we encounter one?
In the previous encounter, the area's wide-range radar and communications tower were destroyed. We gathered what little information we could from the battle data of the Arsenal combatants. Beyond that, we know little else. Since Bullet Works was responsible for their destruction in the last encounter, it is highly unlikely that a similar type of immortal could be hiding nearby.
Highly unlikely, but not impossible either.
Precisely, which is why Sky Union is loaning special weapons to those who accept this mission. Testing those weapons is a secondary purpose of the mission.
Ah, a secondary purpose. I see.
Do you? 'Cause I don't.
So there's a chance these untested weapons might work. But they're just loaning them to us? Yeah, I'm gonna need more incentive than that, especially when there's a chance these weapons are total duds. What, we just gotta assume all the risk and that's that? They can't sweeten the deal at all? Come on, work with me here.
Okay, I get that you're mercenaries.
I'll see
I
what
get
I
it.
can do. One moment, please.
Holding out for a greater reward. You disappoint me, hero. Your older brother would never engage in such unbecoming conduct.
Okay, I admit it. Ev is more of a hero than I am. He's all about getting up close and using his own power to take down enemies. But me? Well, if someone's gonna give me a powerful new weapon to play with, I am not gonna say no to that.
Impressive. Yes. As mercenaries, we answer to a higher calling. One that demands we destroy the immortals by any and all means at our disposal. Such is our burden as agents of justice.
I imagine being rich enough to afford a made-to-order arsenal helps to ease that burden, though. My siblings and I, we have to work hard so we can afford to eat. It'd really help if you sat this one out, Savior. What do you say?
I wish you good luck. If you fight as a stalwart agent of justice, I will not need to enter the fray. That, in turn, would entitle you to my share of the reward.
Deal. I'll do my part.
I have completed negotiations with Sky Union. They are willing to extend the loan period indefinitely if you agree to provide them with all future battle data.
Well, in that case, I accept this mission. What about you, Prince?
When duty beckons, ours is not to refuse.
Innocence will also accept.
Wait, I thought he wasn't going to join? I'm confused. I'm confused. Whatever. It's like Armored Core. The plot is a hash. When it makes sense at all, it's a minor miracle. That's fine. I don't know. Not all the Armored Cores
Scanning battle
are
data.
just random nonsense happening. Oh, look,
Femto-particle
there's a
density
thing.
is
There's a
uneven,
thing.
but short-range
Pop.
radar will not
Pop.
be effective.
Pop!
Initiating each arsenal stable.
Move out. Don't let them swarm you. They're weak one-on-one, but in a group, they're a real pain to deal with.
It's still just my equipment,
Try
so...
using those missiles of yours. The displayed numbers,
Oh.
you're locked on targets. Fire more missiles with each target you acquire.
Yes, I already know this. That's
Oh,
okay.
So you're the little rookie I've been hearing about.
Okay.
You
Alrighty.
look more broken in than I expected.
What?
Name's Deva of the Steel Knights. What's up?
Alright, Devin, knock it off. I met the rookie at the briefing. Prince and no-nonsense notes are off handling another area. Don't worry, rookie. I'm sure you'll team up with them eventually.
Prince? That tool savior's still alive? One of these days, I really need to knock him off that high horse of his.
If you did, I doubt he'd notice. He barely remembers we even exist.
Truth. Oh, whoops. We gotta make sure to keep the rookie here in the loop. Now, we mercenaries usually form groups to do this work. Collectively, we're known as reclaimers. As a group, it's easier to take on bigger missions and negotiate for whatever supplies we need. If you don't want to die, surrounding yourself with allies is the way to go.
You teamed up with Bullet Works before, yeah? Among reclaimers, they're one of the larger groups. All former military types. Experts in the art of war.
We're talking the best of the best of the best among reclaimers. No question.
And that Prince guy? He actually leads a group of reclaimers called the Five Hells. And that crew is something else, that's for sure.
They're nobles, basically. They got the credits and clout to put average Joes like us to work for them.
That's one way of putting it. Still, even nobles have duties.
So lots of clouds of enemies, which we blow up with lots of missiles.
Whatever. We're all mercenaries in the Oval Link. And, as much as I hate to admit it, that guy's a good mercenary. Damn good, even.
I bet you'd give him a run for his money in a fight.
You're no slouch either. Don't forget
So
Margaret
missile
the Steel
launchers,
Knights.
as I've learned, do come in
Me and my
various
little brother
stripes.
Zoar are the only
Some of them
reclaimers in
shoot
Steel
very
Knights.
few missiles, but they're
Two-man
very
group like
strong.
ours might
Some of
seem
them
odd,
do
but
different
that's just
status
how we like to roll.
effects.
The best way to learn about the more
Some
famous
shoot
reclaimers
a similar
is to
amount
look
of
for yourself.
missiles, like this will shoot
None of
like
them are
8 in a
crazy,
row,
just
but they can
absolute
lock on
nutcases
to
who
only
dive
like
into this
1 or
mess
2
without even
targets.
blinking. It's a real freak show, that's for sure.
Anyway, all reclaimers receive missions from Orbital and the consortiums. We complete those missions and get paid. That's all there is to it. But we all got our own reasons for doing this. Just check us all out, like Zoa said. Draw your own opinions.
At the end of the day, we're all just mercenaries, fighting to survive. Now let's get to work.
About time. If you find any big boys, let us know. Later, rookie.
Oh, what I'm gonna do?
Scratch one bogey. Next.
'Cause I don't like these things. I want to blow them up. Oh, it's in my left hand.
You really want to stop us? You gotta go all out.
Boom. So you can, yeah, that's a big part of the
Sufficient
game.
weapon data collected. Mission accomplishment recognized.
Well,
Executing automatic return sequence. Return according to instructions.
Guess we didn't find any big boys. Talk about a tease.
Wow, okay.
But hey, at least we get to use these weapons all we want. I'd say that counts for something.
I guess. Later,
Oh,
rookie.
here we go.
Don't go dying now.
So that's the thing you have to keep an eye out for, is those, if you want to get cosmetics. And I do. So because it is very heavily customization friendly, it's a fashion game. So fashion options are good options. I didn't see another one. I looked around other places. You gotta be pretty good about using your 3 abilities. I'll point those out later. Alright, so we got another Thunderbird. I think that's the same as what I have, except mine is shiny. Which doesn't matter, it's cosmetic. It doesn't have 3 slots. I think the most you can have, there are accessory slots. There's a system revolving around accessories. Let me see, this is the C, and let me compare stats. They are identical. Whoop. This one has an attachment slot. Attachments are things that you'll wind up getting later, which are augment stats, basically. There's a wide variety of them. You get them from doing various means, various ways and means. want to go to missions. So we might as well just start plowing through these, right? Zen has decided to investigate the region adjacent to Sky Union's territory. Due to the investigative nature of this mission, bringing weapons is not authorized. Huh?
Mission briefing. If you have any questions, you can access me at any time to review the contents of this briefing. Briefing will now commence. This is a private mission from Zen. Whether you accept or refuse this mission, please be advised that severe penalties will be imposed if its contents are disclosed to others. Your objective is to investigate the border of Sky Union's territory and eliminate enemy AIs in the area. Additionally, Sky Union's territory may be included in the combat zone. As a precautionary measure to prevent a worst-case scenario, you are prohibited from bringing weapons on this mission.
So, let me get this straight. I need to eliminate a bunch of AIs. Okay. But I can't bring weapons. I wonder if they're going to teach me to throw things at stuff.
Complete any necessary preparations, then stand by and await dispatch. Briefing over.
Beware.
Whoa. Easy there, Baldy. You're gonna break the briefing terminal.
Baldy! I'm Big Bad Gargantua, twerp! I don't need no details! Let me get to wrecking already!
Bet you weren't expecting that, huh, rookie? Anyway, I'm Chill from Innocence. Nice to meet ya. And this loudmouth is with the Western Seven. His name is Big Bald... Hey, what was your name again?
Big Bad Gargantua! Quit saying I'm bald! I'm only 24! I just shaved my head is all!
Really? That looks a choice.
You wanna die, twerp? Ah!
This is a private mission to investigate the border of another consortium's territory. Seems sketchy, don't you think? We can't leave any trace of our presence either. That means we gotta procure weapons on site.
Big deal! I'm just gonna wreck everything I see! Even you two! Stay out of my way or I'll wreck you up!
The Western Seven are all like him, pretty much. Anyway, see you out there, rookie.
So, I guess Big Bad Gargantua is in fact a national treasure. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to back out, and I'm going to go see, because she looked like she had some augments. So there's actual physical augmentations I can make. Which I have not gone into very far in great depth today. So you have outer skills and arsenal skills. Arsenals are the mechs, outers are you when you're a dude. You can in fact hop out of your mech if you wanted to do that. So what I'm gonna do, and they're expensive. Well, they get expensive anyway. This improves my arsenal, so I do want that. An injection of various enhancement agents to improve the outer's physical ability, and it improves my mobility in my arsenal by about 10%, it says. Okay. Movement speed is good. We like movement speed. Oh, good question. Speed or stamina usage? Probably stamina usage. But yeah, it's basically a tree. You can have one in these given columns at any given time. You can reset it all if you so choose. Skylifter mobility? Isn't that, So Skylifter... No, go back. Is it upper body? Yeah, Skylifter. Pressing the jump button as an outer in midair will enable the outer to fly. So you get like jump jets or whatever, like MD Geist or something. So when it has the asterisk saying this will drastically affect your body, that means there's going to be a physical change that's made to your character model that you cannot cosmetically remove, basically, which I think is really cool. So a lot of these head things are all related to your outer. So having an outer being able to lock on is kind of important, so I'm definitely going to be getting that. Not that you're going to be in your outer. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Give me a minute. Alright, that was no problem. Very good. I'm going to get these initial levels of these dealt with, even though they're expensive. So it changes my eyes. Now they glow and are clearly robotic, which I think is cool. So I have no qualms with becoming basically post-human. So in the head tree, let's call it that, so let me explain how this goes. So I got this, so I have the option to pick either one of these. So if I pick this one, then I'll be able to choose either this or that. These are fairly important because they improve the cooldowns for Assault Shift, Wing Shift, or Shield Shift, and those are these three abilities that I've been cycling through as best I can. I think I'm going to set them to hotkeys on my mouse, actually. And those augment different abilities. So if I get Wing Shift, it means I can fly around without using stamina for a little bit. If I activate Shield Shift, I have a shield up until I shoot, and the shield will reduce incoming damage, and Assault Shift boosts your weapon's fire rates, or fire damage, and I want to say it improves stuff like reload too, but I wouldn't bet my life on it. So I'm probably going to go for Assault Shift, and maybe Wing Shift, I don't know. Then you get to the final set of that tree, and you have stuff like increased femto absorption, which is of dubious value. For the outer anyway, unless it improves your arsenal as well, but it doesn't list it for the arsenal, so I'm assuming not. Explosion, which, if you've ever watched Gundam Wing, remember Hero Yui and how he would self-destruct his mech at the drop of a hat because he was a friggin' idiot? I mean, psychopath. I mean, protagonist. Yeah, well, you can blow yourself up. I will not do that. That seems dumb to me. If anything, I'd probably want the increased lock-on range, but I don't really see a way to get what I want to get. That is improving Assault Shift. I could go for Wing Shift, I guess, or Shield Shift, rather. So what I'll probably wind up increasing the Blitz power. So the Blitz is this little drone that floats over your shoulder in outer mode, and I'll show that off when I have the opportunity. There's a mission where I think I have to do it coming up kind of soon, so it's okay. It's this drone that floats over your shoulder and shoots. If you've ever played Armored Core 5 and remember the multiplayer from that, which I just realized reduced the number of people who know what I'm talking about to probably single digits or zero. You, after having your mech destroyed in certain multiplayer modes, you could hop out and float around as a pilot. This is kind of like that, only much, much more fleshed out. But it's this little drone that hovers over your shoulder and shoots like energy bullets. It's pretty cool. I'd probably want to get the increased lock-on range if I wanted to get anything, but that's going to involve making certain sacrifices. I do kind of want assault shift, to be honest. But if I do that, I'm not going to be able to get the blitz power, which is fine. I have no reason to be using my blitz under almost any circumstance, but maybe I can go with wing shift and shield shift cooldowns, because those are fairly useful as well. I kind of wish I could double up on one, maybe go for shield shift. You can change these in any case. It involves resetting, which refunds you a bunch of the cash you used. I don't think all of it, though. Maybe it doesn't refund any, I'm not sure. I haven't done it yet. And you can just re-choose the nodes on the tree. For upper body, basically anything that's going to improve my arsenal is what I'm going for. And reload speed is a biggie. I want reload speed improvement. Because that's very useful for your arsenal. Extremely handy for anything. It's just very good. So I did some reading up on the melee improvements because they aren't quite what you think they are, which sounds strange, I know. So increased melee range, I believe, increases the size of the swing you do, as opposed to the distance you'll leap forward with the swing. So it makes it a little easier to connect with, so that's not bad. Getting a blade for your outer, I guess if you wanted to run around as an outer shooting things, I guess you could do that. Swinging a sword, that's cool. I won't do that. Improved melee weapons, I think, boosts damage. Yes, increases damage. This is the one that's a little weird. So with chain attacks for melee weapons, only certain melee weapons can even do chain attacks. And instead of doing what you'd think it would do, which is set up like a melee combo on a single target, I believe all it does is it makes it so that you can chain to... when you chain, you go to multiple different enemies, kind of like Zone of the Enders. For lack of a better comparison. So what that winds up doing is it makes it so that instead of doing multiple attacks against one enemy, you're able to do more attacks against enemies in a crowd, which is still useful, but I would argue not as useful. I don't know why I would do that. I'd probably go with chain attacks anyway. Just so I can get to increased outer HP, which means when you're running around as a dude on the ground, you're harder to kill. And then, I don't know, probably go with, like, repair. Because that sets me up to get to the increased reload speeds, which I very much want. Skylifter would be nice so you can fly as an outer, but you run pretty quick. I don't know how important that is. It'll require some testing. I need a mountain of cash, though. I mean, you look at the costs. 150k, 115k, 100k, 85k, 85k again, 70k, 6k, 2.5k. It's expensive. It's very, 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 very expensive. But I'm probably going to go with reload speed, because reloading weapons really quickly would be really nice. And then for lower body, a lot of these are arsenal related. So reducing stamina usage seems like a good idea to me. Double jump would be nice, I guess. Landing recovery time can be handy, because when you land on the ground, you just kind of stop. So recovering more quickly, 30% more quickly, seems like a good idea to me. That's for outer stamina. Probably I would go with movement speed over stamina consumption if I have the opportunity. Yeah. So what I'm thinking is do stamina usage, landing recovery time, movement speed for outer, stamina usage, and then that gives me different options here. Increased mobility probably I'd go with, and then I'm stuck with what? Stamina usage for evasion or evasion range. That's basically where you do like a little somersault in a direction. And at that point, then I'm given the choices between knockdown resistance. See, having the reduced landing recovery time would also be pretty good there. Blink, double tap a movement command in the same direction to warp a short distance is probably what I'll go for, because that seems like it would be pretty useful to break missile lock or a few other things, or avoid damage, provided you remember to dash out of the way. I don't know if it uses femto or whatever, but it seems like a good idea. So that's kind of my idea, is like get blink, get stamina usage reduction, mobility, that. So that's my rough plan there. And for head, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I'll figure that one out. All right, so those are things you can do. Let's get back to the actual game, shall we? So they're gonna give us no weapon. So this is when they introduce us to looting, and I'll go over all that outer upgrade lab stuff later anyway in a subsequent stream.
Femtoparticle density is high. Long-range radar is not available, but short-range radar is not affected. Initiating each arsenal's data link. Opening squad communications channel.
So no matter what we do, they can't see us from there.
That is correct. Procure weapons for yourselves before you arrive at the designated area. Begin the mission.
I do what I want! You two can kick rocks for all I care!
And off he goes. Well, Rookie, I guess we better get started. I know we got dispatched empty-handed, but all arsenals have universal weapon specs. Meaning, if an enemy's using a weapon, we can use it too. You can either pick them off destroyed enemies or grab whatever weapons you find laying around.
Scan complete. Displaying available weapons on your console.
See? Laura's got our backs. Just pick up a weapon and she'll handle the calibration and configuration and whatnot.
Alright. Salvaging destroyed arsenals. Approach a wrecked arsenal and press interact key to salvage one armor or weapon equipment of your choosing. Selected equipment that cannot be used will be sent back to the base. If you have an open equipment slot or your armor is destroyed, obtained equipment is automatically equipped. Ah! Oh no! I ran over a deer. Okay, I can't damage them, this is fine. So here is... So, I pick up gun.
Yeah, just like that. Now that you're armed, let's get to work. We got money to make.
So what I want to do is I want to loot as many of these things as I can. Alright, and now we are in business. So these are Stries. They are basically other ACs, I mean arsenals.
Enemy reinforcements detected. Defeat them to complete the mission.
Now it is going to give me time at the end of this to do more looting. I do want to loot at least one ahead of time if I can. Actually, I'm going to do that looting thing right now. Whoops. I'm going to leave this shield on, which will defend me a little bit. Let's see. I'm gonna grab another one of those. When they're yellow, I believe it means it's one you don't have yet. And I do want some spare components here. Give me that ammo. Got him. And yeah, let's grab the legs.
If you come at Queen Jill, you better not miss.
She's awfully perky. I've actually taken some hits, so I am going to heal up real quick. So, if you've been paying attention to those 3 gauges, you can see that they do in fact lose a certain amount and eventually regain it over time. I'm at the height limit right now, I think. Oh, he's fighting a Stry. I want that. Gimme.
Still, all the secrecy surrounding this.
Mission complete. Mission accomplishment recognized.
Did the tattoo
Initiating
on the
return sequence.
Nah, it's fine. We survived and that's all that matters. Let's go home, Ricky.
Did the tattoo on the side of his head say Dinky? I think it did. I think he might be my soulmate. He's charming. He's dumb. I like it. Of course, Chill's a cutie too, but let's not get stuck on that. I don't like his paint scheme much. It's all boring earth tones. Let me, is there a map button? There's a chat menu. Oh, I just ejected a weapon. Oh no. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh no. I think we're okay though. I don't see anything else. I don't see any cosmetics. Oh, there's that. But I already got that one. It's only on a certain number of maps, and since we went to the same place again, it's all good. Alright, so we got some cash. We got a full set of physical components, which is sweet. Got another bang stick or 2. Shooty guns. I'm gonna go straight to the hangar, and I'm gonna check equipment. Alright. So let's go to some compare stats here. So this is what I've got equipped. What changes? We have slightly longer lock-on range, so I want it. We have a bunch more VP, which is health. Total defense is increased a little bit. It is slower in the air, but it shoots faster. Shot delay. I'm not sure what shot delay is off the top of my head. Fire rate. It might be with like single shots, how quickly you can refire, and then fire rate is I don't remember. I have to look it up. Some of these are rather arcane. I will check in the manual section to see if it has any more information there. This boosts my stun resistance, reduces acid, and everything else. Yeah, we're gonna just equip that. The Legion component is better, it looks like. We're gonna just double check the same here. Oh, this boosts my flight speed. That's interesting. boosts just about everything except for land boost speed. So it's a balancing act. You can fine tune. I don't have any other processors which boost all sorts of different stuff. Let's do a comparison here. So that reduces my speed, boosts my fire rate. Increases my lock-on time. I'm not sure about all that. I can probably live with it. There are some asymmetrical builds you could go for if you really wanted to. I'm not going to, but at the moment, but you can. So memory usage. Memory usage is relevant because your stats get reduced if they go over your maximum memory cap. I have not been able to do this yet. My memory cap has stayed pretty high. I don't know how drastic the stat reduction is. So let's see what the legs do. It further increases the time it takes to lock on, which I don't like the sound of. Reduces my flight boost speed, but it's still a net gain. My health goes up a bit, my defense goes up a bit. Land boost time goes back up. We'll switch to all Legion gear, why not? I like the four-eyed look, I think it's pretty neat. Let's check weapons. So you can get duplicates, as you're probably seeing. So now I've got a duplicate of my Grim Reaper. Something that isn't apparent is that there are, in fact, variants. I think there's 5 variants per weapon. I have only seen a couple of them. I have not seen them all in my old save file, which I didn't get very far in again. I just wanted to take it from the top for the stream purposes. You've got F, you've got L, you've got M, and I don't remember the others. But they all basically tweak stats a bit. So one will have faster fire rate but shorter range, one will have high damage but slower fire rates, one will have great accuracy and stability and whatnot but low damage and fire rate, that sort of thing. Or one has huge ammo reserves, but all its stats are kind of middling and fair to middling. I haven't showed off shields because who needs a shield when you can just upgun? That's how I view it. Shoot mo. Use mo shooty guns. That's my view. So I'm still basically as well kitted out as I can at this point. Patterns, so you get camo. You also get other things, like there's some metallics I wound up getting. I'm not going to fiddle with decals at this point. I'm going to save real quick. It's auto-saving after every mission, but I see no reason not to. Just to be on the safe side. So yeah, so far this game is pretty top-notch. I've been very happy with it. Like, if you have been an Armored Core fan in the past, and you are looking for something that resembles Armored Core to scratch that itch, this is it.
Mission briefing. If you have any questions, you can access me at any time to review the contents of this briefing. Briefing will now commence. This mission is a request from Zen. Corrupted AIs have been confirmed at production facilities in Zen's territory within the Oval Link. Your objective is to destroy these facilities. Complete any necessary preparations, then stand by and await dispatch. Briefing over.
What are you sulking about? I just wish everyone would die.
Well, that's a positive outlook.
Well, I just love breaking stuff.
Okay.
I am so excited! Destroying facilities sounds way more fun than fighting little baby bots.
I
bet Zin's none too happy about Immortals corrupting facilities in their own territory. Still, it's not like the built-in artificial intelligence and their drones can do anything to stop it from happening.
Abyss and I will break you if your feeble old man brain gets corrupted.
Wait, is that a thing?
Won't be necessary. After all, Immortals can't corrupt human minds. That's why outers like us make perfect mercs. Know what I mean?
Nope, not at all.
Maybe you would be better off dead. We certainly are.
Okay. Note to self, avoid the gloomy one.
Just don't bust up my cybernetic legs then. They're a custom job, one of a kind, very expensive. So you're the rookie everyone's talking up. Johnny already filled me in. I'm with Bullet Works. Just call me Painkiller. And these two are...
Heaven of the Five Hells.
Okay.
Abyss.
I somehow figured.
You heard of the Five Hells? Their leader is this real high society type reclaimer named Savior.
Ah, so we've met.
These young ladies are his little sisters. If that worries you, I get it. Believe me, I do. But I promise you, they're talented outers.
We're way stronger than you, old man.
She's not joking. Battlefield partners can be a crapshoot, but these two are trustworthy mercs. Anyway, I gotta get my arsenal ready. See you out there.
Ciao.
Kill you later.
Wellsprings of positivity and good karma here. Okay. So I can't be showed up by the gloomy goth, the bouncy girl with a tan, or this other guy who seems like a reasonable human being. We also learned that we're necessary because we're a meat interface that the AIs can't corrupt. So that's interesting. They could just throw AI at the problem, but it wouldn't work. Okay, that makes sense.
Particle density in this area is low. Short-range radar will not be affected. Initiating each arsenal's data link. Opening squad communications channel.
Good to see you again. I'm counting on you.
Abyss had something else to take care of. So, what are we playing today?
Destroy the facilities corrupted by the Immortals.
That's it.
Non-stop production of corrupted AIs in consortium territory. This could be bad PR for Zane.
So, what am I allowed to break?
You can go off the chain. But do you remember what Savior said?
Huh? I totally remember. I'll get dinged for shooting allies, and I should always listen to 4.
I'm gonna grab some ammo real quick.
Not a chance.
Let's play. Oh, never mind.
Where are they?
Did you think you could outmaneuver me? Not a chance.
There we go. There's another one here, but I can't remember what. No.
Enemy down. Acquiring new target.
I gotta pick these up real quick. Let's see. New shooty gun. And, oh, there's not very many here. Let me grab a spare arm then.
Just as planned. No complications.
I'll never forgive you. Don't slow me down, weakling.
Yeah, let's grab some spare ammo here.
Candy tastes like strawberries.
Oh no,
Delicious.
I just blew myself up. So now I have to beat this mission the hard way. So I mentioned things about doing playing as a little dude on the ground. Well, here we are. Oh no.
Mission complete. The facilities are no longer operational. Mission accomplishment recognized. Initiating return sequence.
We're done already? But I want to break more stuff.
So
We
my
gotta
mech
head
is
back so
down,
you can tell Sable
and
what
my
a good
allies are
job
not
you did.
reviving me,
That's right.
which is unfortunate.
My lord brother will praise me.
I'm sure he will. Speaking of which, good job.
So this little drone above my back will shoot single shots or charge shots, which is cool. And it's fairly powerful, so that's neat. I keep running out of stamina though, which is rather frustrating. I hope I don't lose anything for having my mech blown up. I was just too close to the building when it popped, and that killed me. So most of the enemies are these, you know, tanks and little drones and whatnot that aren't all that impressive in terms of damage output. Whoops. Here we go. Oh. But they send a lot of them at you, so you have to worry about that. There's... Alright, let's see if they... No, they did not. I did not have any expenses, even though I lost my mech, so that's cool. Let's see. That's neat. Earn some more decals and such, which is cool. Alright. The real game begins. So, the ice cream parlor is important. It's when they were doing this, I'm pretty sure they were definitely thinking, how do we make Armored Core more like Monster Hunter? Well, Monster Hunter has a huge amount of the metagame based around eating food, so maybe we should do that. But then make it like kind of pointless, except for one little key factor. It gives you a resource as well as giving you a stat boost. So, the ice cream parlor. There is a garage at the base which contains a store. Approach the garage to open the shutter and enter the store. So, by zipping on over here... Hello. Hello, person. We have an ice cream parlor. Ice cream perks. You can buy all different kinds of ice cream. After buying ice cream, you will receive temporary bonuses to your outer and arsenal abilities. Every ice cream purchase you make comes with a stamp. Collect enough stamps and you will receive a token you can exchange for more ice cream. What they don't tell you is that you can also exchange it for other things, such as equipment. It is about 10 tokens per one. You get one token every time you get ice cream, or one stamp every time you get ice cream. As far as I know, there's no way to get more than one stamp from a single ice cream purchase, otherwise I would do it. So I'm just going to go with singles here. Single, let's get a cup, because we like cups of ice cream, don't we? Orange ice cream sounds really good right now. And that'll increase my femto absorption rate by 1% for the next mission, so spend credits. It said, it costs money, but that won't matter later. So doing a single scoop of anything, you're always going to be able to get a stamp, and I've never managed to spend 500, or 1,000 rather, in order to get 2 stamps. So 10 stamps, you get a token, which can get you either a free ice cream, or you can do the smart thing and use it on equipment, high-end equipment that you get later. You can only get 1 buff at a time, and you only get 1 stamp at a time, so you can't just like mass buy them. So basically, what you need to do in order to unlock the secret shop, which you need in order to get special Monster Hunter style weapons that you get from giant mobile armor bosses, is you have to basically do 20 missions getting ice cream in front of them each time. Get 20 ice creams and you'll be golden. So, that's a thing. So you want to get that out of the way as soon as you can. You won't be able to access it until you are rank C, though, which isn't for a little while. I don't even know if they give us free missions yet. Yay! I'm an ice cream sampler. I'm gonna save real quick. I don't know if they give me the factory yet. They don't give me the factory yet. So you can buy new equipment. That's important. Do they have processors? They do have processors. So I do want... okay, so there's an increase to memory capacity. What does this one do again? Increases lockup. Does this actually improve anything? No, it really doesn't. This decreases my lock-on time, so that makes it desirable. And improves my knockdown recovery somehow. So I want to save up for this. This thing costs how much? 20,000. Jeez, that's a little out of my budget at the moment, but I'm definitely going to get that as soon as I can. And you have a 3% memory optimization, which means things that cost a lot of memory cost less memory, which is good. It effectively increases your max memory as well, which is good. So definitely want to go for that. I don't even know if you can get attachments on CPUs. I've never seen a CPU drop from an enemy, but again, I only have a couple hours in so far, so who knows. I'm not actually going to sell anything. I do have a duplicate here, which actually I'm going to switch to because it's got a slot. Equipment, not weapons. Armor. Is it right arm? Left arm? Left arm. It has a slot. So a thing that unlocks in a little bit is a factory where you can do research and development. And in that, you need to sacrifice parts in order to get new parts. So picking up spares of things is a good idea. What I'm going to probably do is focus on getting more Legion bits, because you need like a couple of each Legion component in order to get everything early on. As I found before. So that is what I will focus on doing. What I'm probably going to do as far as a build is probably spec into having as much there we go. As much like lock-on as I can. Balance that out with health. So I want to reduce my lock-on time, and I want to have high lock-on range. So right now my lock-on range is just slightly greater than most of my weapons' actual range, except for my bazooka, which can shoot from like a mile away. If you are willing to take into account its little ballistic arc that it'll do at the end of its trajectory. It shoots straight for a very long distance, though, so it's pretty useful. I like the bazookas so far. I haven't gotten any fancy ones. They've just been pretty straightforward. Shoots a explodey thing. Does a lot of damage, but it's not a fast projectile, so it's not great against the faster, speedier Stries, which are the AI, totally not armored core, AI-controlled arsenals, basically. Arsenals being the mechs that we pilot. So what I will do is I will go to message and check to see what that is. Reclaimer groups. Most reclaimers prefer to work alone, serving out their mercenary careers as they see fit, but some reclaimers who have established a reputation for themselves go on to establish their own mercenary groups. These groups tend to be very particular about who they allow to join them, and even if a mercenary meets their strict requirements, they can still decline their entry. Some groups are so exclusive that they don't even allow new members to join them. At any rate, you should focus on completing missions and proving your worth as a mercenary. I have high hopes for you. Interesting that you use the personal pronoun I. She's an AI, I guess. Free missions. You can join free missions as many times as you like. For some missions, you can request help from other mercenaries. Based on your mission progress, you may receive additional objectives, or other mercenaries may invade. Which is cool. So now... Okay, I'm still not rank D yet. That happens soonish, so I might advance to that point. Actually, what I might do...
Mission briefing.
Yeah, I'll do these free missions
Briefing will
first,
now
and then I'll
commence.
continue with the story.
This mission is a request from Sky Union. A group of corrupted AIs have invaded Sky Union's territory. An operation has been prepared to destroy them at the ruins of Aquafort before they reach the city. This mission is an invitation to join the operation. During the mission, it is possible to collapse the decks along the AI's invasion path to destroy them. Destroy the decks and eliminate the remaining AIs. Complete any necessary preparations. Then stand by and await dispatch. Briefing. Oh.
So things I like about this game are the... So I can't get any allies with me, that's fine. Are that the Stries and the AI-controlled arsenals basically have the same limitations you do. In that they can run out of stamina.
You have arrived at the mission area. Scanning battlefield. Femto-particle density is low.
They can be
Short-range
affected by
radar
status
will not be
effects.
Begin the mission.
I think they can maybe even run out of ammo.
Detecting invading AI force. You can eliminate greater numbers of AI invaders by destroying decks. If done properly, this will allow you to conserve
So
ammo while
I
you
want to
fight.
definitely pick that guy up when I have the chance. Taking out Stries early is a good plan. I'm gonna back off and collect these Stry components here. Oh, he's up here. Yes, please. Oh, well, that was quick. Yeah, I'm gonna get, Osafune. Lim? I think this map is basically the same as one I've been on, so I don't think there are any decals or anything for me to get. As you can see, my stamina lasts much longer right now because of the equipment changes I've done, which is nice. Doesn't last forever, but it's substantial. Do little boosts that... there is a way to do like a spinning in circles shooty gun move, but I don't know how to do it right now. I've seen it done. Alright, so we got some new equipment. We got Sushi Kanji, which is cool, as a decal, which I am not sushi, so I'm not going to equip. I am, however, going to grab ice cream. Better not be frozen yogurt, I tell you that. Let's get a waffle cone this time. Mint chocolate waffle cone? Yes, please. Landing recovery time. Nice. These are, again, temporary. They only last for one mission. Alright. So I fulfilled both the side objectives on that one as well, which is nice. Let's go to the hangar. What do you change? More defense, better lock-on time, considerably faster flight speed, and recovery times. Does reduce my health a bit, and my defense is noteworthy chunk, but not huge. But it improves my lock-on time, and I like that. What does it do for my right arm? Pretty much the same idea. Better laser defense. Let's see. Better fire rate. Shot delay takes a sizable hit. Reload support takes a hit. Reload speed you do want. So I may not equip that at this time. But you can, as has been intimated, replay missions largely to your heart's content. The Trickster is a handgun. I have had bad experiences with handguns. They are extremely light, so if you need a backup munition, like on your pylons, then they're not a bad choice. But they tend to just be kind of weak. The per bullet damage, like, look at the assault rifle, it's like, okay. So something I should delve into is damage / bullet damage. So you do with each shot a certain amount of just damage, which takes a however much chunk. However, of that, I believe, if I've understood what I've read correctly, you can have either bullet or laser damage, and though that is damage that will be affected by resistances to bullets or lasers. I'm not totally sure how that works yet. I have not seen mountains of material explaining it. But it is a thing. You can get different balances. So something with more bullet damage than regular damage is going to do considerably more damage to something weak to bullets than it otherwise would. But other than that, I'm not totally confident I understand the differences involved. It's like additional damage on top of the existing. And I'm not fully sure I comprehend how it works, but we will find out, won't we? As we go through, I will do more research and figure out more on the nitty-gritties for theory crafting builds. Alright, I've got time for one more. We will do this other ranky mission here, this Eliminate the Corrupted AIs. We've got to blow up 40 to get the full reward. And our basic goal is to eliminate 50, so I guess we will just get that anyway. That's fine.
Mission briefing. Briefing will now commence. This mission is a request from Orbital. A group of corrupted AIs have invaded the neutral zone under Orbital's supervision. Work with the other reclaimers to defeat the invaders. You do not need to defeat all the AIs for this mission. The objective is only to defeat a certain number of them and slow their invasion. This mission will be closed when the maximum number of participants have joined. If you wish to participate, please apply immediately. Complete any necessary preparations, then stand by and await dispatch. Briefing over.
I'm not going to hire any help. I can do it on my own. It just means I have to be on my toes and shooting a lot.
Scanning battlefield. Femtoparticle density is low. Short-range radar will not be affected. Eliminate as many AIs as you can within the mission area, but no fewer than the minimum required. Your reward will be determined by the total number of AIs you eliminate.
So I'm keeping an eye on my map here. Origami chocolates. Sounds delicious. And I also don't know if that damage readout is like damage per second or what. Because I'm certainly not doing like hundreds of damage per hit. Oh, here we go. Oh, no, I already scanned that one. Oh, here we go. You did. So you can't fail to defeat more than, I'm gonna grab a spare of these, a certain number. Now I know there was a way to open up the map larger, but I'm not remembering how to do it right now. Let me check options, keyboard configuration. Let's see. No. Mirage, which is not something they've told me about. I thought there was a way to open up a larger map. And I'm not remembering how it was done. Just double checking to see if this lists anything different. I'm not seeing it. I could have sworn there was, because I know I held a button down once by accident and it popped up a larger map. No, Arsenal, no, Outer Warnings, no. I could have sworn there's a way to do that. But I don't remember how I did it. Oh well. Okay. Here we go. Mo baddies. Alright, let me get over to here so I can deal with these things. Where are you? Where are you? There you are. Alright, let me go pick up these Stry components. Oh, I want a down booster, and that'll help me descend faster. We'll get another Osafune component there. Let's get a spare Legion component. They are... I don't want to take them out outside of that area if I can, because if they drop something I need, I can't get it easily. Alright, those tanks are still... Oh no, they're not tanks.
Mission complete. Mission accomplishment recognized. Mapping return sequence.
Heck with that. Let's blow everything up. Where are they? Oh, they're down below, I think. So yeah, controls are a little floaty, except for turning around feels extremely solid and tight. Which I admire. I don't know if they're going to throw more enemies at me or what. So the down booster, which I think is done with... Yeah, there we go. Bop! So what I've been doing to descend is just cutting out my engines. Which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus like 2 seconds. I don't know. It's very fast. So it allows you to ascend and descend rather quickly in the air, which is nice. So we got some extra cash from that. It's not much. They're all pretty easy. Alright, so that is going to have to do it for me for today. I'll probably do some like co-op missions and whatnot in between the time that I do my next stream. I'll save story missions for the most part for the actual stream days I do. So speaking of stream days, my schedule is typically Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, starting at about noon Eastern Standard. On Mondays, I do a Mecha Mondays stream. On Tuesdays, or Wednesdays, my god. On Wednesdays, I do a Warframe Wednesdays stream. And on Saturdays, I do a Storytime Saturdays stream. So on Mecha Mondays, I do something mech related or adjacent. On Wednesdays, I do something Warframe related. And then on Saturdays, I tell stories, or read short stories specifically, usually of a science fiction pulp variety. Though I have been reading through, doing a read-through so far of Neil Stephenson's Snow Crash. We're like 2 installments from the end. If you have any interest in cyberpunk as a genre or a setting, definitely check those out. I read them live, sort of book on tape sort of thing. But yeah, hope people enjoyed today. I do intend to do more of this. And have a great day. Bye. Thanks for tuning in.